So how do you think the trial went this morning? How do you think it went? It got a bit crazy in there. I just wonder if that killed our chances. Yeah, I guess it did get out of hand. Mr. Kudo's testimony did nothing to help us. Plus, now we don't even know the identity of the waitress who laced the coffee. All we know is what old Mr. Kudo saw, the apron straps and the ribbon, and that the victim was wearing an earpiece when his eardrum was ruptured. Talk about a terrifying case of contradictiitis. Time to play doctor and find ourselves a cure then, huh? Yeah. We gotta find one for Maggie, or she's going to have a terminal case of guilty. Alright, hold on. I have to go. Okay, the window would be a little hard to see from there. Wouldn't you be able to see the curtain, though? Oh, for sure. Oh, for sure. Okay, what does that mean, then? For sure. It's completely fucked. Okay, so if that's where it happened, this is the crime scene photo. Who the fuck took this? Who took a photo from the scene taken from near the kitchen? All right, did the chef take this, or did they take this? Because like that means he was killed like on this side of the room. He was killed down here, but these have windows too, right? Is it just a mistake? What was it even in here? Was it all made up? Like what the fuck? No windows, Morty, there's no windows. All right, like I thought like there was some like weird fucking shenanigans going on. Like my idea from when I realized that there was no window in the trial was that he was actually killed over here, and then they took photos and shit, and then fucking like chef was like, you know what, this is bad for business, let's move the crime scene over here, hope no one asks. There you go, they can investigate if they ever come back, because these are the good tables. This is the good side of the restaurant. This is the good side. What the fuck is going on over here? Yeah, for sure. It's fucked for sure. Oh, for fuck's sake. Oh, for fuck's sake. But you should still be able to see the window, right? Or like 1, 2, is that panel there? It's still fucked up, isn't it? Two roses, thing over there. I guess it doesn't have to match exactly. That could kind of be the corner maybe from that mistake. I don't even from that angle. I don't even know anymore. I don't even fucking know anymore. I don't even know anymore. I don't know anymore. So what were you all excited about earlier? Huh? That's right. You said you were listening to the radio or something. Oh, that was nothing. I wasn't excited. Come on, Detective Gumshoe. You can tell little old me what you're listening to. Nothing really. It was just the daily exercise show. No. Oh, one lock. Okay. What the? A psyche lock. Ha ha ha. This lunch special's lobster sure is great. Then why are there tears in your eyes? I spent all my money on lottery tickets, pal. A one-way ticket to happiness, huh? Glenell died because of this ticket. Yeah, but it's still a one-way ticket to happiness, pal. And Maggie was found guilty of murder because of it too. Yeah, I was just hanging out when I heard someone win the lottery. So I whipped out my trusty bottle of fucking potassium cyanide and got in his coffee so I could steal his ticket. I just carry it around just in case I need it. That's what was happening. Huh? Mr. Armstrong's talking to someone. I'll be back next month. Oui, naturalmente. We'll be waiting for you. Alright, not creepy at all. If you haven't got it by then, I'm afraid it might get a little hot around here. No, I will have everything ready, I promise. Yeah, crazy fire starter for sure. I love fire, you know. Yep, there we go. I love the way it crackles. He. No, stop it, I beg you. Then don't let me down. I'll be watching you in my swimsuit. Mas non, this is not necessary. You can trust me, mademoiselle. Talk to anyone and I'll drive a knife right through your heart. Oh man, she's just getting better and better. Oh no, you don't have to worry. You know, you worry far too much. Maybe this will help you relax. It is the oil of sandalwood. Sure. I do love raw meat from time to time. Hee hee hee. So who's that woman you were just talking to? Oh la la, you saw that. Well, yes, yeah, sorry. So, who was she? She looked so polite and graceful. Polite, graceful. And she likes raw meat and fires, right? I mean, those two don't go together, don't they? Raw meat and fires. I'll be back next month. We natural men. I'll be waiting for you. Yeah, we just saw that. We don't know. I guess you could go somewhere else before you and then come here. The woman who was here earlier, I take it that she's why has it come to this? What a tragedy. Suddenly I find myself so deep in la debt. It is a sign of the bad world we live in, huh? No, I'd say it's more of a sign of a bad culinary skills. So who was here? Got him. Is a scary woman. She is from the loan office. Loan office? Is that where you borrowed $500,000 from? Oui, tender lender it is called. Catchy name. Just hearing it makes me want to borrow some money. Please, you must not borrow from them. If you must, no more than $10. $10? Sounds like your whole monthly stipend, Maya. Hey, I get a bit more than that, thank you very much. So tender lender is the loan office you borrowed $500,000 from, huh? I wonder if they've got anything to do with this case. Tender lender, where is it? Let's go. I'm a weak woman. When I am upset, I have to buy something nice to cheer me up. Thanks to him loaning me the money, I have to pay back $500,000 now. I am like his slave. I have to do everything that he tells me. Who's this he? The tiger. The tiger? Oui, he is the manager of the tender lender, a terrifying man, the big city mobster. When he shouts at me, my knees are trembling, and his voice is ringing in my ears for 3 days. As soon as I hear the noise of the battered old scooter he rides, I start to cry. What? A big city mobster who rides a battered old scooter? Does this guy resemble me by any chance? Oh, no. This man is a presence, a most formidable personality. Although, oui, he does have the spiky air just like you. Oui, there is a resemblance there, I suppose. Uh-oh. Sounds like this loan office is worth checking out after all. Alright, cool. Oh, this is not as crazy as I thought it was going to be. Went through compromise. Tender lender. Damn, so strong he broke the punching bag. This place gives off a really strange vibe, doesn't it? Looks like the tiger isn't in his lair. And that is, as they say, a very good thing. Welcome, gulp. Talk about a creepy voice. It makes your soul want to shrivel up and die. Welcome. You're here to discuss a loan. Super. No, not exactly. The manager is away at the moment. Wait quietly, please. I'm a nuisance. Oh, CDs. She's gone, just like that. I guess we'll just have to come back another time. But this is the perfect opportunity, Nick. This place reeks of suspicion. Come on, Nick. Let's take a look around, okay? Do you think it'd be okay? Of course. No one will... Coffee? Oh, poison coffee. I'll leave it here for you to enjoy quietly. Yes, thank you. Do not touch the desk, please. Is it made of solid gold? Nick, let's get out of here. Now she wants to get out of here. What the? What? It's not the Rocco soundtrack, is it? Claw of the Tiger? Rocco. It's a demo CD. The artist's name has been handwritten on the disc in pen. MC Bomber. What? This must be the CD Maggie told us about. Let's listen to it. I bet it's heavy metal. No way, that woman will make us drink more coffee if we do. MC Bomber adds to the court record. Found at the tender lender a sample disc with a name written in marker. Did we steal it? Hey, there's a piece of paper sticking out from under here. What is it? A repair bill? Looks like he did some repair work on his car. Does he even have one? $15,000 to replace a bumper and a light. That's insane. The car's registered to the Cadavernes? Huh? So it's not even the Tiger's car. Why would someone else's repair bill be in the Tiger's office? How is this relevant? What? Hey, look at this. This is the same color as the one you wear, Nick. The same color as my suit. Ah, he's the ultimate cosplayer. Keep your voice down, Maya. Nick, you've got to take a look at some cake. Look on the lapel of the suit. It's not even close. It's not even close. My God. My God. Is the tiger a lawyer? No way. Look at this thing. It's made of paper. That's all it took to get into the... For some reason your badge suddenly looks really cheap to me, Nick. Why doesn't anyone recognize an obviously fake badge when they see one? Is he gonna come in and Maya's gonna be confused who's who? Alright, guess we inspected everything. Yeah, well, I'm having fun. Come out from under the desk, Maya. What are you two snooping around in my office for? Guru, nothing, we were just... Gura, my precious carpet, you've got ash on my rug. You gonna wish your ugly feet never came through my door. It wasn't us, it was already like, yous wanna argue with me? Is that what you doing? You think yous can take me on? Think you can take me? I'm gonna flatten yous two into pancakes and turn yous into my new rugs. Oh. Dawn Tiger, you're back. I knocked over that ashtray earlier and... Eek, has she got a death wish or what? Nah, he's scared of her. Oh, right. Huh? Forget about it, Violetta. It's nothing. What? Are these like Bizarro, Phoenix, and Maya? Is it I am? I ain't gonna get mad at you. You too cute, you hear? That's so unfair. Here, have some cookies. I just baked them. And you'll need some strong espresso while you're discussing your loan. Gwar, Phoenix right. Yes. You's either crazy or just plain stupid to chase after me. I worked so hard, but now you's gotta come and mess up my plan. So it was him. He's my phony. Yeah, but I don't care. Why are you orange, my dude? Or red? I don't care. No one gets in my way. What? I mean, excuse me? You should have left the little girl at home, right? I have a few things. No questions. This is the last time we meet. Alright. That was pretty weak, Nick. You waited until he was out of earshot before you shouted after him, like you wanted to talk. Moves are weak. I didn't hear you scream, hold it either. The espresso. And cookies. This woman is definitely not good for my heart. Now, what was it the tiger called her? Violetta. Tender lender. So, I'm kind of curious about your company, Tender Lender. Viola. With the warm and friendly atmosphere you'd expect from a family-sized business, a conscientious rate of interest, and an attractive repayment policy. Why do I get the feeling the sentence is not going to end well? We will tenderly lend you that little bit extra here at Tender Lender. Hey Nick, things are a bit tight for Wright & Co. at the moment, aren't they? I mean, there's that $500 you owe me from our card game for starters. Why don't you take out a loan? Would I like to take out a loan from a place like this? Not so much. Tender Lender is on your side. Hee hee hee. So, let's say I'm late with my repayment. What happens then? We give you more coffee. Strong coffee. Right. I think I'd rather skip town. Hey, just remember I can make strong coffee too, Nick. Strong tea as well. Wow, she's just admitting to it. Well, a man was poisoned in a restaurant just near here, that incident. Let me see. I was here that day with the manager being the tiger. Furio Tiger. Furio? Tiger? So that's where the tiger thing comes from. Zinniop's got a real name, Nick. Hurry up and find out more about him. What about Dawn? Hee hee hee. No matter how I look at this, I just don't get it. What are the tiger and this scary girl doing working together? We are lovers. That's not exactly coming across in your tone of voice. And I owe Don Tiger my life. He's the one who saved me. The tiger saved you? Please address him properly as Don Tiger, otherwise I'll have to. Okay, so Don is a title, and his real name is... I've already forgotten what his real name is. I hope it's on its list. Okay, Don Tiger, of course, I'm sorry. He saved her life. I'd sure like to know how that happened. Alright. Furio, there you go. I'm very frail, you see. Just recently, I died. Once. Hee hee. You died? About 4 months ago. The doctor said to abandon all hope. Oh, the music! I came back different from the other side. I guess they were expecting her to take a boat ride across the River Styx. But Don Tiger, he saved me. He gave up everything. Everything? Wait, his name's Don and he's orange? When I found out what he had done for me, I was happy. No offense, but I'm finding that a little hard to believe. I decided I'd pay him back with my life by serving him coffee and an espresso. I still wonder about what's in her coffee. So, is that why you got that bandage around your head? He. This? It's decorative, the head bandage. So what's the story with the bandage? They put it on after the operation. Operation? It's just a little injury. A little fatal injury. He. A fatal injury? Maya just suffered one herself by the sound of it. So that's the injury you were talking about before when you said you had died once? She kinda looks like a nun there. Erg, she really creeps me out, Nick. Same here, but we've got to find out the truth. Do we? Alright, there's no way that we have all the information for this, but let's go. Guess I better let him talk. So, there's not much call for craftsmen these days, Dan. Of course not, you idiot. All I'm good for nowadays is running errands. Errands? Everyone takes advantage of the elderly. Buy some bread, Gramps. Take the dog for a walk, Granddad. Feed the pigeons, old man. What am I, some sort of 2-bit community handyman? Well, buy some bread, now that I can understand. But what's the point of feeding some seedy pigeons? Why don't people say what they mean? Get lost, that's what they're trying to say. Oh yes, I'm just an inconvenience, you see. At home, at that restaurant, I just get in the way, don't I? I'm sure you don't. Wait a minute. What did you just say? At home and at that restaurant? So on the day of the institute, what were you asked to do? Glad you asked, boy, because I'll tell you what I was asked to do. I was told to fetch a clock called The Thinker. All of a sudden, that young lad slumped over the table. The serving girl collapsed. And I broke that vase. It all happened so fast, I was in a bit of a daze, you see? Then the owner shouted over to me, "Excuse-moi, you, call the police." I went out looking for a payphone, of course. You went looking for one? I couldn't find one right away, you know? Wandered around for 5 minutes or so. 5 minutes? So for 5 minutes after the institute happened. Yes, sirree, the owner was at trade ban on his own. You could have at least told us before we got to court. Is it really that important that Mr. Kudo was the one who called the police? Yes, what's important is the uncounted time before the police arrived. The victim was dead, and Maggie was unconscious, which leaves that man, alone in the restaurant. Mr. Kudo might have been chased out of the place on purpose. What do you mean? Maybe a certain someone didn't want him in the restaurant. Ah, oh sure, you go ahead and say I was in the ways usual. I suppose I should have been getting myself covered in pigeon poop instead, We need to get more details about what exactly happened from Maggie and from Mr. Armstrong. Alright. Okay, I don't think we need to inspect anything around here. Let's inspect this, just in case. Now this is one large mirror. No, that's the same thing. Okay. Huh? That's it? Yep, that's a poem for you. Okay. I think that we're going to the detention center. I've never been more wrong. January 7. Looks like Gumshoe's not here. Never mind that. What's going on? It feels different in here somehow, you think? Yeah, everyone seems to be on edge. What are you doing? Calling officers for the briefing, quick. Keaton, shut down the station server. Chief, quit playing on the internet. But my email pen pal, Leet Asian Princess? Save it for later. I'm turning it off now. No, everyone's keeping busy in here, huh? Okay. This guy was a real programming genius. They called him the walking computer at the place where he worked. What happens when he crashes through? I don't remember seeing this. What they said about Markiplier, I'm not sure. What happens when he crashes though? Does he just stop moving all of a sudden? Groan. He wasn't literally a computer, Maya. Anyway, there's nothing between Maggie and the victim. Yeah, that's what we found out yesterday too. Hey, Detective Gumshoe, don't you have any information that's a bit more fun? Oh, I know. So, have you paid a visit to where Mr. Elg worked yet? You might as well. Shit. His workplace, where's that? A computer firm called Blue Screens Inc. or something like that. Oh, I remember that. Sounds like a real stable company. This could be fun. Nick, let's go. Computers aren't really my thing. Another character? We'll be fine. I know all about that high-tech stuff. I wonder about that or something. It's just around the corner from this joint. You should take a look. Convenient. A computer firm called Blue Screens Inc., huh? Well, I'm gonna head back to the precinct now. We've got a big meeting starting in a bit. About Maggie's case, you mean? No, that's pretty much wrapped up now. There's another big case going down at the moment, so she's been pushed aside. You better get going, detective, or you'll be late. Actually, I kind of got a favor to ask. It's a big one. Can I have some cab fare or whatever? Favor? Yeah. It's for, Maggie, actually. I was kind of hoping you'd give this to her for me. A bunch of rice and hot dogs? What is it? It's a lunchbox. I got up early so I could make it. Here's your lunchbox, Maggie. It's fucking 30 hot dogs. And like, if that's a hot dog, then like that's just so much rice. And enough rice to feed 5 families. It's a lunchbox. I've been real worried about her. She looked like she'd lost a lot of weight. Detective Gumshoe. How many weenies are in here? There's not a person on earth who could down this much meat. You think? I love weenies. I can't get enough of their tender juiciness. So will you give it to her? It took me ages to make, so please say you will, pal. I can't exactly say no, can I? Gumshoe's lunchbox given to Maya to carry. A tenderly handmade lunchbox fills the stomach with love and plenty of weenies. Maybe I'll eat it myself if I get hungry. Don't forget, okay? I'm counting on you to give that to Maggie. Damn, I think she's gonna throw it in her face. He's finally gone. Alright, what horseshit's gonna be here? Oh my god. January 7th, Blue Screens Inc. Wow, this place is so high-tech. You can almost smell the electricity in the air. They're playing League of Legends for sure. It is a computer firm, Maya. They can't work without electricity, you know? Who are you? Take it back. Favorite place. Oh, hello. I'm sorry. Access is restricted to authorized personnel only. This is a computer programming laboratory. There are far too many trade secrets that could be leaked. Wow, what secrets? Everything you see here is classified. No information can leave this building. Understood. Who is this woman? She's like a robot from some kind of whacked educational show. My name is Lisa Basil. Lisa Basil? Lisa Isabel? Lisa Basil? Also a palindrome. What? I'm the company director. Director? She's human? She seems more like a ghost in a shell. And that thing over her eye, isn't that the same device as Glenn Elg's? That's a DMH, right? Nice try, but it's the other way around, Maya. It's a HMD. All of my programmers here at Blue Screens Inc. are supplied with HMDs. Then do you write programs too? No, I just enjoy wearing this and also killing people when I sneak into restaurants to poison their coffee. They are pretty cool. I wouldn't mind one. So what exactly is this firm's business? I will try to simplify it so that you can understand. We analyze the data management systems required by certain branches of industry and then deliver optimum operating systems and source-level components to them. It is a small firm, but all of my employees are first-class programmers. Let's ask one of them what they are doing. I'm playing League. Excuse me, what are you working on right now? I'm researching the impact of time-slicing comment logical associated global variables. Obviously, program structure heavily influences response time and performance, so the code independence of global variables and memory overheads is vitally important to the success of the execution. Well, you get the idea. This is the sort of thing we are involved in. He's on Reddit. Do you good people follow all of that? Yeah. Your blank smile just said otherwise, Maya. You know about what happened, right, Miss Basil? You mean about Glenn being poisoned? Yes, I know. It's terrible. I was there. Can you tell us anything that might be helpful? I don't think so. A police officer was here earlier too, but I couldn't tell him anything either because the waitress who committed the crime has nothing to do with Blue Screens Inc. Blue Screens. Oh. How about Mr. Elg's desk? Have you cleared it out already? No, not yet. It's this one right in front of you. If there's anything that might be useful to you, you are welcome to take it. I guess there might be a clue here somewhere. It's been a month, hasn't it? And you still haven't? That's kind of unusual. He's really pounding that keyboard, isn't he? Wow, I bet that's where the pro and programmer comes from, huh? Oh man, I guess I shouldn't be resting on my laurels. Gotta expand my skill set and all that. Yeah, that's a good idea. Maybe I could become Old C's apprentice. And what about your spirit medium training? Nah, fuck that. Hey, this calendar. It's in the shape of something. It's the thinker. What about it? If this is another hint about tidying, you can forget it. Someone's marked December 3rd in red pen. December 3rd. That's the day Mr. Elg was murdered. Is there anything else? Yeah, it says, meet with the tiger. The tiger? Glenn's calendar added to the court record. Meet with the tiger. I'm a lawyer. Would you mind taking a look at this? I'm sorry, that data is super admin restricted desktop access password protected. What? Super admin restricted desktop access password protected. Super admin restricted desktop access password protected. That's so hard to say. What? This is madness. No, Maya. This is Sparta. Madness. No, Maya, this is Sparta. She won't tell us unless we say the right code word. That movie's fucking great, isn't it? 300's fucking fantastic. 300 is the second best movie that I've ever seen at the theaters. Like, that was just such a great experience to see at the actual movie theater. It was just such a huge spectacle on the screen. It was such a good movie to see at the theater. Second best. Number one, watching at the movie theater, best movie experience, theater experience of my whole entire life was Mad Max Fury Road. That was so fucking good. I'm not saying those are the best movies ever. They're great movies, but for movies to see at the theater, to see the huge thing, man, those were good. He has seen 2 movies. Thanks, Merrick. Thanks, Merrick. Yeah, Mad Max Fury Road was the best movie to see in the theater. About Mr. Elg, he was a top programmer. I would even say he was a genius. But he did suffer from 1 or 2 bugs in his personality. Oh, like what? He was a bit of a loser. Perhaps that would be the best way to describe it. That's what got him into trouble. What's the matter? He was a top programmer. I would even say he was a genius. So he was really no trouble at all. A model employee. Hey, wait a minute. Just now you said something about him being in trouble. We've got to find out what this trouble was exactly. About Mr. Elg. He was in some kind of trouble? I'm sorry. Why would you think that? I thought you said something about it just now. You said he got himself into trouble because he was a bit of a loser. Fuck. 3 psyche locks. I just realized Glenn Elg is a palindrome. Yeah, so's her name. I guess Mr. Elg is like every other man with his own pile of secrets. A miserable pile of secrets. Alright, let's break through this right now. Miss Basil, let me ask you something. Did Mr. Elg's troubles have something to do with this? The tickets. What is that? A bunch of horse racing tickets, all losing ones. With that many tickets, you could get $1 at the recycling center. Yeah, that's what Maya said. You good people are very, very bad. Cashing in on others' misfortunes is immoral. Is that a whiff of hypocrisy I smell? But what is the relevance of these tickets? The victim, Mr. Glenn Elg. He had a gambling habit, didn't he? I don't think that's a logical conclusion based on the facts. Everyone likes to go to the races from time to time. There are 500 tickets. Yeah, but not everyone buys this many tickets. Anyway, I don't believe that proves anything on its own. Did Glenn Elg play Genshin Impact? You're right, but I'm not through yet. Mr. Elg's gambling wasn't restricted to horse races, was it? The lottery, horse racing, he bought a lot of tickets and lost a lot of times. That's got to have hurt his wallet pretty bad, don't you think? Oh, she's sweating! She's overheating. Maybe bad enough to be the cause of some pretty serious trouble, perhaps. No, you are right. Glenn did have a gambling habit. It's true that Mr. Elg won $500,000 in the end, but that was his first stroke of good luck. He was in deep trouble before that. Deep trouble? What do you mean? Mr. Elg's real problem was someone or something more terrifying and ferocious. Meet with the tiger. Number 15. Burger King foot lettuce. Mr. L met with someone on the day he was killed. He even made a note on this calendar about the meeting. Meet with the tiger. What is the relevance of that? Maybe he just really likes Frosted Flakes. Are you trying to suggest Glenn was meeting him to discuss his debt? Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Thinking I'm back, but I have never heard anything about this tiger before. Maybe he's not even human. Maybe he really is a tiger. I'm no programmer, but does she really expect me to buy such messed up logic? In that case, I think it's time to introduce you to the tiger. Furio Tiger, aka the Tiger, is the boss of a loan office called Tender Lender. It kind of bothers me that you have to present multiple pieces of evidence for each psyche lock sometimes. It should be one lock, one evidence. That's how it should be. This is who Mr. Elg met with on the day of his murder, and the only thing a loan shark would talk with him about would be his debt. No. It's true that Glenn had racked up quite a bit of debt from his gambling habit. About $100,000, I think. $100,000? Ouch. But I heard he won the lottery, so he should have been in the clear. Shame Maggie couldn't get a bit of that good luck. Okay, so the guy got lucky and won the lottery. But what if he hadn't won? What was his plan then? Well, this isn't easy to say, but he has 2 kidneys. He said he would use his talents to repay the money. His talents? I suspect he was talking about programming. What computer program is worth $100,000? An illegal one. Perhaps you good people should leave so I can get back to my work. I'm so close to cracking her. The program in question, was it by any chance this? Mr. Robot, where is it? This is a very delicate matter. Without the necessary data... Shh! What? I know Mr. L creates some sort of program. She can't deny if I show the program itself as evidence. I'm so close to cracking her. The program in question was... Do I have to go to the police station and put it in a computer and run it and then find out? Fuck. Oh. That's it, isn't it? That's it. Oh yeah, I've got something you're going to love. Really? What is it? A lunchbox just for you. Here. Wow, a lunchbox. Weenies too. I can't believe it. Thank you, sir. Did you make this just for me, Mr. Wright? Nah, it was Detective Gumshoe. Who else would make such a nice lunchbox for you? Detective Gumshoe. Man, she's not going to be consuming the gum chalice at all. She's really mad at him. He's really worried about you. Looks like you put a lot of effort into making this, too. I can't accept it. Detention center rules. No gifts allowed, sir. Hey, come on, Maggie. Don't be like that. The rules are the rules. They'll lock you up if you break them. Somehow, when an ex-cop turns waitress says that, it seems a whole lot scarier. And anyway, I hate weenies. No, you don't. Oh, really? It's all yours, Maya. You can enjoy it with Mr. Wright. But, she's right. It's better than letting it go to waste. But I guess so. Gumshoe's lunchbox eaten with Maya. Well, how was it? Hit the spot. I love weenies. Oh good, I'm glad I gave it to you then, sir. Holy smokes, that's him. Huh? That's your phony, Mr. Wright. Just look at that ridiculous suntan. Suntan? For the record, I'm not sunburned like an overdried tomato, so I don't know how. He told me he'd been on a business trip to Hawaii, and that's where he got the tan. I'm not hearing this. With Chadworth. Ah, is that your attorney's badge? Actually, it's a fake. Holy smokes, that's it, huh? That's the badge your phony had, Mr. Wright. You got duped by this? But it's a completely different color. And what about the fact that it's made of paper? He said the badge got a tan as well while he was in Hawaii on business. I'm beginning to see how my phony was able to gain her trust. Is there anything about Mr. Kudo's testimony that stood out as odd to you? Actually, yes. The fact that he was even testifying to begin with doesn't quite what? Well, when I took the coffee over to the victim's table, it's true there was another customer in the restaurant. Yeah, we know that already. It was Victor Kudo. But I can't really say it was an old man. Okay, then how about calling him a really old middle-aged man? No, age isn't the issue. The other customer was a woman. A woman? Are you sure, Maggie? Well, I'm not 100% sure, but I think so. So what did this woman look like? She looked scary and evil. She was sort of creepy. And she had kind of a cackling laugh. Creepy, cackling. Why do I get the feeling I've come across a woman like that recently? Okay, but I just showed you her picture, and you didn't say shit. I know you... January 7th, police station, criminal... Okay. Minister just went up in smoke. Why the heck isn't the press conference set up yet? The superintendent's here today. Here already. Yeah, and there's a problem with the internet too. I already told you to stop using your computer, Chief. But I'm watching videos online. I'm catching up on my Asian soap operas. I have to wait. It's gonna have to wait, Chief. I'm throwing the switch. No, just when some young guy was about to confess. to his son's hot to trot girlfriend. Wow, this place is really buzzing. Something must be going down, something really big. Huh? What are you doing here, pal? Detective Gumshoe. You can't be here right now. You'll be roped into the briefing if you stay, huh? We've got big problems here today. Why? What's going on? It's a virus. A virus. A virus? There's a virus ripping through the precinct's computer system. But I really need to ask you some questions. So what exactly is a computer virus, Detective Gumshoe? I don't know. What? Look, I just go with the flow, alright, pal? And here I thought detectives were supposed to be somewhat knowledgeable. What's with that face, pal? You think you know what a virus is? Well, Nick, do you? A computer virus? Sure. I mean, only in simple terms, of course. Really? Wow, you know everything, Professor Nick. Yeah, I'm gonna call you Dr. Wright from now on. Hey, that sounds pretty cool. Don't you agree, Dr. Wright? Why do I get the feeling they're making fun of me? Okay, fine. I'm no expert, but I can at least explain the basics to the two of you. A virus is a program that gets inside a computer and causes damage. Damage? You mean it makes the machine go boom and explode? No, the damage is, well, it's all internal. So the inside goes boom, right? Imagine all the case data you've got stored on your PCs here in the station. A virus could wipe out all that. That's the kind of damage I'm talking about. Wow, that's scary. Yeah, and what's even more scary is that the viruses are infectious. Infectious? Most computers are connected together on a network, right? The virus can move from one machine to another over the network, so the virus just keeps spreading faster and faster. Humph. Just like a real virus, huh? But Nick, why would anyone want to make a program like that? Yeah, it takes ages to type in all that data. Why would you want to destroy it, pal? So it like, corrupts cases and shit. No, people don't infect their own machines. They send the virus to someone else's. What? That's horrible. Oh, I get it. It's like you sneezing on Mr. Godot so he catches a cold. Right, then he wouldn't be able to turn up in court because he'd be too sick. You really shouldn't do stuff like that, Nick. It's wrong. Who, what, where, when, and why did the conversation jump to talking about me? Anyway, that's what a computer virus is, a bad program that causes damage. Yeah, Phoenix is a lot smarter when he's not on the screen, huh? There is a sharp fucking dissonance between courtroom on the screen Phoenix and talking from the fucking player's perspective Phoenix. That's the girl who works over at Tender Lender. You want to stay away from her, okay? I mean it. She does look kind of unforgiving, doesn't she? That should be the least of your worries, pal. What's that supposed to mean? What could be worse? Her name's Viola Cadavereni. She's the only granddaughter of Bruto Cadavereni. Well, he seems like a nice man. Bruto Cadavereni. Do you know who that is, Nick? Never heard of him. Bruto Cadavereni's the boss of the Cadavereni family. The Cadaverenis? That's one scary sounding name. We can't touch them. They're way too powerful for the police. But you're thinking of taking them on, aren't you? No, I don't remember ever saying I was going to. I better get some more info out of Gumshoe about this family. Oh shit! It is something. The name scribbled on the sports video CD. That's the name of the virus. MC Bomber. What? Yeah, the virus has just infected every computer in the station, pal. It's MC Bomber. Can you give us any more details, please? I'm not sure if I really want to get involved in this, but who are the Cadaverenis? Who are they? A scary bunch of people, that's who. You're a cop and you're scared? What's that about? Trust me, it doesn't matter if you're a kid or a cop. These guys are scary. They've got some serious clout in the criminal underworld. We can't touch them. They've got too much moolah. Moolah, as in, they pretty much control all the cash on the city's black market. The black market, huh? And that includes Tender Lender, I take it? Sure. No one stands up to Bruto Cadavereni, and I mean no one. Interesting. So Viola's the granddaughter of some mafia boss then. Yeah, and everyone knows how much Bruto loves his little girl. She means everything to him. So, how did she end up at Tender Lender? I don't know, pal. But I heard she and the boss of Tender Lender are pretty tight. Tight? That's what it said in a file I read related to Maggie's case. Sounds like a pretty important clue. Thank you for sharing it with us, you know, after a trial. Apparently the programmer who made the virus was a real genius or something. The focus right now is on tracing the root of this virus on the black market. You mean someone put this virus up for sale? Yeah, and because this one's so powerful, they're estimating its price tag was in the millions of dollars, pal. In the millions? A virus can be worth that much? MC Bomber updated in the court record. Found 10 okay. So now we can go back. I can't believe it. Almost forgot the most important thing, and that is, you know, the lunchbox. How did everything go? Lunchbox. You remember the weenies? So how did my weenies taste when they went down the hatch? They were really good. Well, it was delicious. Yeah, that's what she said? Really? Well, not exactly. Don't worry about it, pal. I figured something would happen, so I came prepared. Prepared? What do you mean? A second lunchbox? I made a jumbo lunchbox. Oh, do me a favor again, huh, pal, and deliver this? This sure is a heavy burden, in more ways than one. Good thing we're Lydia. I could just imagine Maggie's little eyes sparkling with joy when you bring her that. Weenies again, Nick? Tell me we don't have to eat all these too. I'm hungry. Gumshoe's lunchbox, get into the night again. Alright, time to do it all again, because that's the system that we have here. What a wonderful system. I hope this is better in subsequent games. Well, this is it, isn't it? This is the virus that's infecting computers worldwide as we speak. MC Bomber. No. Unlock successful. So it's safe to say Mr. Elg was the creator of this virus, huh? The MC Bomber virus? Yes. It was a work of genius, in a bad sort of way, of course, but still genius. Something like that would probably fetch several $1 million on the black market. Inconceivable. Gumshoe is right for a change. Okay, so he was meeting dude who is doing things at behest of Cadavereni family, because he's being held. So Cadavereni family is putting pressure on this guy to get some solution or something, or I don't know. And so he's being pressured, and he's putting pressure on him. Through his debts at Tender Lender. So then he goes with the virus to sell to him for like a shit ton of money or clear the debt. And then as he's about to give him the CD, he wins the lottery, and now he's like, well, now I don't want to do it. I don't have to do it. Fuck, this deal's off. And then he gets mad, or she gets mad, or something goes down because he wants to back out at the last minute after he finds out he doesn't do this, has to do this shady shit anymore. That's what I think. Inconceivable. Gumshoe is right for a change. Oh, this is gonna be tough. 4 months ago, I was in a traffic accident. That's why I needed the operation. When I woke up, they told me it was nothing serious. A simple procedure. Oh, really? Well, I guess if she recovered in 4 months, it couldn't have been too big. They said the operation cost $1 million. A million bucks. Are you just being taken for a ride? Is there anything, like, are you fine? My grandfather ordered Don Tiger to pay $1 million in compensation. Okay, I guess not then. Compensation, huh? It's undercourt lingo for paying money to settle a score. Basically, pay or get into some serious trouble. But $1 million bucks? Yeah, definitely based in America. This has to be related to our poisoning case somehow. I wanted to believe him. I wanted to trust what Don Tiger said. He said it had nothing to do with my grandfather being Bruto Cadavereni. I wanted to believe he helped me because he cared about me, not about my grandfather. Aw, the evil girl's sad, but I knew that wasn't really true. Wow, I'm so sorry. What he did to get the money was evil. And I liked it. He said it was all for me, so I helped him. You helped him? In what way? Here, take these. What are these? Medical papers? I'm Bruto Cadavereni's granddaughter. He had to pay compensation. He was made an offer. He simply couldn't refuse. Nice! Oh, this is gonna be a slam fucking dunk in trial tomorrow. A $1 million bill for cranial surgery payment was due last year. There are two things that I consider inexcusable. Poisoning and putting ketchup on eggs. Only a coward would hurt people using either of these tactics. Is everything alright, Nick? We should get going. Right after we finish our espresso. Yeah. I won't need to convince Viola of anything else, so I guess I can get rid of this. Repair bill thrown into the trash. Hey, bonjour. I've been waiting for you to return, Mr. Armstrong. Ah, good timing. I was hoping to find you here. We'd like to ask you a few questions. Well, he hasn't got anything to say to you, fellas. Oh, shit. It's Zinniok. Who you calling Zinniok? Ah. Come out from under the table already, Maya. Under the table? Okay, hand it over. What? You want to play games with me? I don't recommend that. The medical papers now. How do you know? Uh-oh, I think he wants Viola Cadaverini's papers back. You mean this? The $1 million medical papers? Miss Cadaverini trusted you. That's why she said that she helped you. Forget about it. That girl's dumber than an eggplant. Whoa, yous want to know what's sad? I tell yous what's sad. And it ain't only her face. She thinks she's got power because she's Bruto's little girl. Now that's sad. Oh, you're a dick! I can't let you have these papers. Tomorrow in court. I thought you were just going to be like some dumb guy that's been strung along. Now you're an asshole. Alright. I'm going to expose what you did to get the $1 million you used to pay this off. Are you crazy or something? I don't care if you want to give it to me or not. There's 2 of us here. You got that too. Oui. Mr. Armstrong? Forgive me. Désolé, I cannot argue with him. That really hurt. Oh man, it's like when Von Karma tasered us in the fucking evidence room. Is that all you've got? I'll be taking those papers now. Armstrong, get that lighter. Wait, don't take it too hard, Phoenix Wright. Merry Christmas. That was so stupid, I shouldn't have let my guard down. Hold it, pal. Uh-oh. Well, Gumshoe's gonna die. Detective Gumshoe! Detective Gumshoe? You think you're gonna stop me, Detective Gumshoe? Beat it. Bruh. Whoa. Come on, Gumshoe. Keep it together. You guys, get out of here. Leave this guy to me. But go, pal, and take this. If you get hurt, who's gonna look after Maggie, huh? Alright, thanks, Gumshoe. Wait, Nick, don't leave me behind. I'll get even with that guy tomorrow in court. Tenderlender is going down. At some point, we're gonna have to eat these weenies. At some point, the weenies are gonna be vital evidence. The weenies will be important. Alright, so it's almost Christmas, everybody, so you all know what that means, right? What does almost Christmas mean? It's almost Christmas. Almost Christmas means it wasn't Christmas. And I'm drinking my coffee. Lily Blend 101. Just the perfect amount of Nesquik. Makes you realize that you're not drinking coffee. Hey, pal. Hey, Detective Gumshoe. Quit stressing Maggie out. She doesn't need that. How did you know she was stressed? I was watching through the doorway. Oh. You look like you lost the case already. Show a bit of confidence, will you, pal? Here, maybe this'll help. Huh? Have you taken up aromatherapy too? Not in a million years, pal. Don't tell me that you don't remember this thing. I mean, in a million years, I think you dabble in aromatherapy after a million years. Come to think of it, that doesn't look like one of those aromatherapy bottles. This is the small bottle that turned up in Trebian's kitchen a couple days ago. We finally got the analysis results back from the lab. So, what is it? Is it the poison? I'm afraid not, pal. It's medication. Medication? Yeah, for ears. Topical use only, apparently. For ears, you mean? Yeah, it's the medication Glenn Elg was using for his ruptured eardrum. Oh, okay, so he's the kleptomaniac stole it. Alright. What was Glenn Elg's ear medicine doing in the kitchen? The same reason our Magatama was in the kitchen. Small bottle refilled into the court record. Refiled, sorry. What about the unidentified fingerprints? Anything on that? Someone screwed up, so they only had time to analyze the contents of the bottle. Convenient! Another hour and they might have gotten something on the prints, but... that's going to weaken its impact as a piece of evidence. Today's trial. I'm gonna expose that guy for what he's done, or my name is in Phoenix, right? This really is Markiplier, can't see it. Right? I'm not the only one who thinks he kind of looks like that Markiplier, right? Thank you. When I said it, a lot of people in chat were like, what? I'm like, thank you. I think he kind of looks like Markiplier too, just from that angle. January. Glen Elg. This guy, right? He kind of looks like Markiplier. Court's on session for the trial of Maggie Bird. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Ready and waiting as always, Your Honor. Very good, then we'll get underway at once. Yesterday we heard the testimony of Mr. Victor Kudo. He claims to have witnessed the defendant putting a powder into the victim's coffee. However, the witness's testimony was plagued with a number of problems. The mark on the rim of the cup shows that the victim drank from it with his right hand. But according to the old man's testimony, he picked it up with his left hand, and we're not even going to entertain the possibility that he just picked it up like a Chad and didn't use the handle. His fingers probably, Markiplier's fingers couldn't even fit in that handle. He just picked it up, wrapped his thumb and his forefinger right on the left side, like I am right now. Are you implying that you resolve these contradictions? You know the answers to these riddles? Sorry, you know the answers to these riddles. The old guy wasn't just throwing seed in here, he was throwing us off the scent. So, like, I really think that Ace Attorney 3 so far has been a lot better than Ace Attorney 2, and I have to wonder, is that because Ace Attorney 3 is just better than Ace Attorney 2, or is it because we had a longer break between them? Like, we went Ace Attorney 1 and then Deltarune and then boom, Ace Attorney 2, and I wonder if maybe because we had a longer extension between them, between 2 and 3, I wonder if that helped. I don't know, I'd have to go back and see what my issues with 2 were. Just 3 just seems a lot smoother, I don't know. The investigations are still a bit dull. And you are? Oh, bonjour everyone. I am Jean Armstrong, the owner of and head chef of Le Très Bien Restaurant in Chanté. Forgive me for asking, witness, but are you a woman? Damn, Judge Oak over here. Ooh la la, monsieur, as you can see, I am le pert and perky gentleman, no? Can you answer the question? On the day of the incident, you were in Très Bien's kitchen. Isn't that right? Very well, your testimony, please, witness. Please tell the court what happened that day at Très Bien. Oui, volunteers. At Très Bien. When it all happened, there were just 2 customers in my restaurant. I remember I was experimenting with some new art deco that day. Like, this accent is just the fucking word. Like having a large mirror between la tables, for example. Oh, great! We're only saying that now? Oui, perhaps that is what la old man was looking at. La cup, la épierce, and la glasses. He would have seen everything in reverse. Now, oh, we're just like revealing this bombshell in the first testimony? Mirror? Oui, un grand mirror, la most enormous mirror, and I took it down after the murder, because why not? And I didn't tell any of the detectives. Actually, pal, he did tell us, you just never fucking asked. That's right, Phoenix, you never asked if there was a mirror. You should always ask if there was a mirror. I knew that already, and suddenly, the mystery disappears. Now then, Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination. What? Why didn't you say this before? Hey, remember earlier when you and your friend tried to beat me the fuck up? How about we bring that up when it all happened? You were experimenting with Art Deco? How come I never heard about that before today? You never asked. How big of a mirror are we talking about here? Boof, something about 4 meters wide and, oui, about 2 meters high. As big as the largest genitalia option in Cyberpunk 2077. Let's see. If 1 meter is about 1 yard, holy glass in a frame, that's huge. Mais, no, but I decided not to go through with it in the end. What should I do? Should I ask him more about... Of course we ask him more about the mirror. Where was it? If you really had such a large mirror in the restaurant, someone would have noticed it. But there's nothing about a mirror in Mr. Kudo or Maggie Bird's testimonies. But... Objection! You didn't ask, try it. You have only yourself to... Fucking hell. Fucking hell. Is you didn't ask an anime bullshit trope? Normally, I'd expect people to know the difference between a reflection and a real object. That old man's fucking crazy. Normally, how does normality come into this? That's lame, trite, even for you. Damn, fucking banging the Whoa, your response right, huh? Are you trying to say that if something isn't normal, it is impossible? Is that it? Where does that leave the forky-headed lawyer and the top-knot chick over there? And the ungodly cool guy with the mask over here? Well, try... Ah, not the hair. I do not have a top knot. It's a top hat. Mr. Godot is correct. Is he? A lack of normality is no basis for discounting an argument, but it's like a good... Okay. Isn't it normal that someone would notice if someone was shot in the head in front of them in a cafe? Normality doesn't factor into it. Just because it's not normal doesn't mean it's possible. Someone wouldn't notice someone getting shot in the head right in front of them. That's a good point. Yeah, normality doesn't add into it. Yeah, well, your response to it. Bien, logic has won la day, has it? The coffee cup, the earpiece, and the HMD. Let's think back over Mr. Kudo's testimony for a second, shall we? So, to summarize, we were told both the HMD and the earpiece were on the victim's left side. Now, if Mr. Kudo saw all that in a reflection in a mirror, it means both the HMD and the earpiece were actually on the victim's right side. Okay, I'm impressed. That was actually a clue that you have to know this. All right, that was really good. I enjoyed that. Good. I'm really, really happy that wasn't just a mistake. Unfortunately, that's where we run into a monumental contradiction with the facts. I love that word. Use it in every video. If Mr. Kudo really did see everything in the mirror, why is it that the HMD is now on the wrong side of his head? Order. Mr. Wright is correct. If the witness genuinely observed the victim reflected in a mirror, then we would expect the victim's eyepiece to have been on his right eye, over his right eye. How bitter. Try it. You should have a taste of this bitterness. It'll calm you down in no time. Are we talking about your coffee, or something completely different? Whoa. You don't understand the way the witness thinks. How he thinks? You remember this, I presume. The I broke the vase, sorry, apology I mean Mr. Kudo's sworn testimony? Exactly. The old man has one very grievous habit, other than throwing seeds. Making up bullshit. The more of an impression something makes, the more muddled his mind makes it. And what's the most striking thing about Mr. Elk? Clearly it's the victim's eyepiece. And that's my point. The old man strikes again. So, despite this argument, everything he said is still going to be valid testimony. Mr. Elk's HMD made a big impression on the old man. Sometimes I wonder if the judge is even paying attention. Allures, is everyone sitting comfortably? Then let us begin. La Mirror, it will... What? Ooh? What do you mean it was here? La Mirror, it was in the middle of the restaurant, dividing the two halves. Was like the other guy sitting on a different table completely and they were just like having a remote conversation? Like, what the fuck is this shit? There's only one seat from which you could have seen an image of the victim. That was the seat at the table next to the victims. That was where all man was sitting. This is pure Danganronpa bullshit right now. Oh my god. It's like they were bringing the mirror to the back room and they got tired and they were like, ah, fuck it. Let's just leave it here. After the terrible incident occurred, I moved the mirror so it was not in the way. Wow, just tampering with the crime scene. But naturally, I did not touch anything else. Correctio. And not show you my reflection trick? I see no problems with the explanation we have just heard. Really? From the table next to the victims, Mr. Kudo could have seen the victim in the mirror. The whole world's gone mad. I hate that guy. You said you didn't touch anything else apart from the mirror. Are you quite sure about that? Volunteers, of course. Very well, Mr. Wright. Your cross-examination, if you please. Okay, if that's part of the testimony, I know I can contradict that. La Mirror was in the middle of the restaurant dividing the two halves. Hold it. Why the fuck would you do that? So run this by me again. Phoenix is fucking done. The mirror was here, correct? We? Really? Because I know if I were you, I wouldn't have put a mirror there. It would be in the way. He's just fucking... Look who's talking trash. You're obstructing my view, among other things. Oh yes, good response, but this is my seat in the courtroom. Trayvan's charm is that it gives you the impression that you're the only customer. This is amazing. It's just temporarily placing a mirror in that spot would hardly be in the way. Unlike you, I tell you once, the mirror was there. It's the middle of the restaurant. Judge! So why can you only see the victim from that particular seat? Mais, monsieur, is it obvious, no? It is obvious, no? If you look at the plans, you will understand. The victim would have been reflected in the mirror like so. But what about a second mirror that we haven't asked about yet? If there was like another mirror here and another mirror here, and you turned your head in the right way, you could probably like bounce it over here. Like we never asked about a second or third mirror. It is pretty strange though, isn't it? I mean, nobody mentioned anything about a really large mirror. You'd think someone would have! Yeah, but Maggie didn't, and neither did old CD. Then the only logical explanation is that there was no mirror inside Trayvan that day. Now I've just got to prove it, somehow. I'm sorry, is the conclusion going to be that he made up, that he put a giant fucking mirror in the middle of the room, and the judge and Godot were like, yes, very reasonable, and then we're gonna prove there was no mirror, and they're gonna be like, whoa, oh my god, there was no mirror. He came into the courtroom and fucking rolled a fucking natural D20 on the fucking charisma bluff check. No, Your Honor, I put a giant mirror in the room, and then after the murder, I moved it, and none of you called me on it. Your Honor, Mr. Kudo's words yesterday strongly contradict Mr. Armstrong's testimony. This is the letter of the apology was written by Mr. Kudo, is it not? Isn't Mr. Kudo's like whole entire testimony is completely bunk? I realize it looks useless, Your Honor, but this is still testimony. Ha, I guess useless people are only really good at identifying useless things. What relevance does the scrap paper have to do with the trial, Mr. Wright? Mr. Kudo's testimony is actually very relevant to the question at hand, Your Honor. Because it very clearly contradicts with this piece of evidence. Okay. This piece of evidence contradicts with the testimony you've heard, Your Honor. The crime photo. Yes, this photo clearly shows something that theoretically should not exist. What on earth do you mean by that, Mr. Wright? What is something that shouldn't exist? Okay, I thought we did this already. There's one thing that was clearly demonstrated by yesterday's testimony. Mr. Kudo broke the vase that was on the table where he was sitting. Was that confirmed by Mr. Kudo, though? Or by anyone other than Mr. Kudo? Maybe he just made that shit up. And yet, as the court can see, there's an unbroken vase on the table next to the victim. Why? Because Mr. Kudo was not, in fact, sitting at the table next to the victim at all. Don't be an idiot, Trite. That's impossible. That seat's the only one Kudo could have seen the victim's reflection from. Okay, I guess I'm hung up on the fact that Kudo's testimony should be thrown out and was complete nonsense. But to be fair to the game, like, Godot is still pushing it as legitimate and the judge is going along with it. So, like, this is kind of like cornering them into their own bullshit. Like, if you're going along with Kudo's testimony as like real, well then here's another problem with it. So you can't have it both ways. You can't dismiss his testimony as bullshit, but then also use his testimony as evidence. I guess, I don't know. I think that saying that he stole a bottle or the lottery ticket should have also worked there and kind of like segued into this maybe? I don't know. That was kind of weird. There's only one conclusion we can draw from this contradiction. There was no mirror in Trayvan that day. Your testimony, Mr. Armstrong, is an elaborate lie. Mon Dieu! Don't try to confuse the court, Trite. Obviously the witness cleaned up the vase while the police were taking their time getting to the crime scene. Unfortunately, Mr. Godot, that doesn't quite work for me. Mr. Armstrong already testified to the contrary in his own words. I did not touch anything else except the mirror. Oh, I also cleaned up the vase. Sorry, I forgot to mention it. Update your testimony, witness. Greg. Well, witness, what do you have to say for yourself? Sniffle, I forgot. I also cleaned up the vase. Sorry, I'm a neat freak. It was automatic. I just did it. I was right. There was no mirror in the restaurant that day. In light of this revelation, we return back to the original problem. Why did the victim have an earpiece in an ear which he couldn't hear? You only get one shot in life. There's no turning back. If you want to claim that the mirror wasn't there, Trey, then this problem is all yours. How do you explain what the old man saw? If I can answer this, then I'll be that much closer to the truth. I can feel it. Are you going to be okay? Can you really solve this contradiction, Nick? Do we have to? I'm sorry, what? There's more than just this one contradiction, Maya. What do you mean? Why is this on us? Remember what Maggie told us. There was another man at the victim's table. And there was a sample CD on the victim's table. It all flies in the face of Mr. Kudo's testimony. And I think I know the reason why nothing in this case is adding up. He was invisible. Well, Mr. Wright, let's hear your answer. Yes, Your Honor. The reason behind all the contradictions in Mr. Kudo's testimony is very simple. He's crazy. The ear doctor made a mistake. Mr. Kudo made a mistake. The victim was a phony. The ear doctor made a mistake. Okay, I mean, that's possible. He did have ear medication. The victim was a phony. Also possible. Mr. Kudo... All of these are possible. Okay, so what is the evidence that is telling us that... What's... The victim got this from the doctor before going to Trebian. The bag is empty. That's true. Did we find ear medication in his ear? Left eardrum was ruptured. No, that is ruptured. It was ruptured. Okay, so that's not it. So he was pretending? So he was a phony. That has to be it, right? This case is riddled with contradictions. Yet there is one very simple answer that clears them all up. And what is that? The incident Mr. Kudo witnessed and the incident the victim experienced were two completely different events. Okay. What? He's still alive. Come in, Glenn Alec. Welcome. This is a test. This next test in the League of Lawyers. Yeah. You must always figure out. It's a phony case. There was a phony Phoenix and a phony case for the real. Good job. Here's Chadworth. Kiss him, Phoenix. Kiss him. It's now a wedding. Oh yes, I can marry you both right now. Yes, the victim that Mr. Kudo saw wasn't Mr. Glenn Alec at all. It was an it's a fucking imposter victim, imposter fucking defense attorney. Is it even the judge? Maya, who the fuck are you? Obviously, unlike the victim, there was nothing wrong with the imposter's left eardrum. That's how he ended up wearing the earpiece in his left ear by mistake. Pooh. Trey, are you saying that what Mr. Kudo saw was a setup? Yes. Do you have any proof of that? No. Someone pretended to be Glenn Alec and acted out the whole coffee poisoning, all for the express purpose of creating a witness out of the one Mr. Victor Kudo. Get real, Trey. Why would anyone want to do that? Isn't it obvious? No! The thing Mr. Kudo was most insistent about in his testimony was the servant girl brought him a Giavicino, but she put something in it. That's the servant girl right there in the defendant's chair. I remember her well. The victim was like, yes, let us fucking frame this servant girl for my real murder that's gonna happen. I will go along with this. Yes, let's do a fake murder to frame her, and then another real murder. Okay, now a fun one. Here we go. Rehearsal murder. Alright, so he wasn't expecting to be murdered, I guess? I don't know, it's this game. It's so hard to believe, but there was one and only one reason to show Mr. Kudo this fake poisoning. To show Maggie Bird in the act of poisoning the coffee. Are you insinuating that the waitress in the old man's story was a fake as well? It's true that there were no other customers in the restaurant at the time, but it's also true that the chef was there. He would have noticed what was happening. He's not even a real chef! His food's terrible! Oh my god, am I even a real judge? That's right. Well, if your restaurant really was seen as such theatric, you would have known about it, correct? Oh la la, this is most difficult for me. No, it's quite simple. All you have to do is testify. You were under oath after all. Was there, in fact, a phony at DIDN that day? The defense demands that Mr. Armstrong tell the whole truth about what happened. The defense request for additional testimony is accepted. You will accurately explain in detail the events in the restaurant that day. Oh no, you finally asked. Now I have to. I'm under oath. In the restaurant. Was there a plan? And then he won the lottery. Like, he legitimately won the lottery, right? Like, you can't plan for that. Is it a fake lottery? Like, like, you can't plan for... And then was the plan off? Like... Je vous demande pardon. Forgive me, Your Honor. I lied because I wanted this mess to be cleared up quickly. Okay, I'll accept it. What you have just done is commit perjury, Mr. Armstrong. I will decide how to punish you later. Ooh. Oh, damn, Judge bringing it down. For now, we will hear your cross-examination, Mr. Wright, if you please. He took that perjury charge a bit too well. But I'm guessing he'll be in more serious trouble after the cross-examination. You just committed serious perjury. Please continue your testimony. Everything else after this is going to be accurate. I am legitimately half expecting Glenelg to walk into the courtroom at some point during this trial. And for the judge still not to throw it out. Glenelg, alright, explain what happened. And if Phoenix doesn't find a contradiction in his testimony, Maggie is going to be found guilty of fucking killing you. Guilty! in other words, once the incident occurred, this opportunity would completely disappear. I'm afraid I finally got you, Mr. Armstrong. Quoi? What do you mean? At the time in question, the victim was listening to the radio with his earpiece. The show he was listening to was Millionaire Radio. Each week they announced the winning numbers of the $500,000 lottery ticket. Oui, that must be the show Mon Elg was listening to. That show is broadcast live at 1:30 p.m. and it claims to be the most thrilling 10 minutes of your life. It's on air at 1:30. Gonna buy a ticket. Now supposedly the victim made some noise when it was announced that he had won. And yet, I don't believe his cry of joy could have occurred after 2 p.m. Because the show had already finished more than 30 minutes earlier by the point in time. So, did Kudo take an hour to find a phone? No... Noon? Now you're changing it to noon? This victim we've been told about has done nothing but the impossible. Listening to the radio with a ruptured eardrum, catching a show that was already over. There's only one conclusion you can draw from these facts. This victim was an imposter acting out the poisoning 30 minutes after the real murder. Oh, wait. Yes, there were 2 Glenelgs in Trebian that... The real Glenelg now dead, having been poisoned by the real killer, and the phony Glenelg acting out the events for Mr. Kudo to witness. It certainly seems that way. I mean, if that wasn't the case, how could you explain the time discrepancy? Yeah, there's no other way. Quite a performance, Trey. You were almost on a roll. But sadly, you lack the rock-hard foundation of rhythm to build your song. What is this, Music Theory 101? Let's recap. According to your imaginative theory, it's now just after 2 p.m. The phony Elg is performing a play for the benefit of Mr. Kudo. How do you explain then where the real Glenelg is? He was in another part of the restaurant behind a big gigantic mirror that's gonna come back now. The prosecution has a valid point, Mr. Wright. If your theory is to stand up to examination by the court, you must provide us with proof by answering the prosecution's question. Where did the killer hide the body? Yes, Your Honor. No conjecture, Trey. Let's hear some facts from it. Please be under the table. Please be under the table. Please be under the table. Please. Please. Oh my god, please be under the table. Show the court a piece of evidence that proves where the body was hidden. Under the table. First, where was the body of the real Mr. L concealed? I mean, he really did have a mirror, right? He ordered it. Yeah, has to be inside. It was in Chadworth's trunk! Perhaps you would care to show the court on these plans, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. The exact location where the body was concealed inside Très Bien is... Okay, it could be the kitchen, right? They could have moved the body into the kitchen and then staged it and then moved it back afterwards, right? I mean, that's possible. But it could also be under the table. The body was hidden here. I see. Nice supposition. But the real question is, can you back it up? Where's the evidence that proves the body was hidden in that location? Shit! Shit! No, it's not under the table. It's not. I don't have any evidence for that, right? I'm a lawyer. That's my evidence. That's all you should need. Too bad. I don't think you'll ever grasp the real heart of rock and roll. What are you talking about? He means that your evidence is irrelevant, Mr. Wright. You're not a lawyer. Mr. Armstrong, do you recognize this bottle? No. I have never seen that ugly bottle before in my life. I only use... Oh, it is in the kitchen. Okay, I only use the very best bottles, monsieur. Is the highest quality only for me. Where was that bottle found, Mr. Wright? Interestingly enough, Your Honor, it was found in the kitchen of Très Bien. Quoi? But I only ever use these bottles for my aromatherapy oils. Can you prove that you found it in the kitchen, right? Did you follow evidence procedure? If that ever comes up, the body in the restaurant kitchen, at which time this bottle fell out of the victim's pocket. Mr. Armstrong, when the incident occurred, didn't you say you were in the kitchen? Mon Dieu. Yes, you know what I'm about to say. It was you who hid the victim's body. You did a fine job pretending to defend my client, Maggie Bird. However, you were setting her up to take the fall behind the poor girl's back. Je vous demande pardon. Please, you must hear me out. It is a trap. Listen to me. Por favor. Yo hablo español. Mr. Armstrong and por favor is Spanish. Fake French. I'm only going to ask you once. Did you do it? No. Absolutely no. Let's hear it. You've got one shot. Right, Gramps? Witness, the court will permit you the chance to make one final statement. If you lie under oath again, Mr. Godot's coffee mug awaits you, as does my gavel. Oui, it is clear. What do they always say in the movies? I've got a bad feeling about this. Very well, begin your final testimony, Mr. Armstrong. No matter what, you're going to prison, dude. The confession. It is true, I hid the body in the kitchen, behind my gigantic mirror, and under the table. A man forced me to do it. I had no choice. I had to go along with him because there was a reason why I could not refuse. But I did not kill him. I swear it. You must believe me. Alright, what was this reason? I can't tell you. Okay, we'll accept it for now. When Mr. L died, was he really the only person at this table? There was another man. I knew it. Maggie was telling the truth. You must cross-examine the witness now, Mr. Wright. There's just one more thing I need to do. I gotta break this guy and get him to tell us the name of the real killer. A man forced me to do it. I had no choice. Wow, this was a real impromptu fucking recovery. An hour later, how did you get an actor to come in and do it? What man? Who was he? No, I cannot say. I fear for my life. Was it also him that came in and pretended to be Glenn Elg? Is this just fucking master of disguise over here? And he just never, like... You have a $500,000 debt, don't you? $500,000? Is this true, Mr. Armstrong? Oui, je suis désolé. I was weak and I borrowed la money. This is Mr. Armstrong's Achilles heel. And that's why you couldn't refuse anything asked of you by this man. Larry Butts! Where is he? Larry Butts! $500,000 loan from a bank, a black market loan shark. And you had no way of paying it back, did you? That's why you were forced to do anything this man told you. Oui, it is as you say. I just did what he told me to do. I had no choice. I carried the body and the inconscient Maggie out of the dining area and into the kitchen. After that, I just tried to forget what I had seen. I think we can now safely say that the man who forced your hand was Mr. Furio Tiger. Okay, well, I think we've proven Maggie's innocence without a shadow of doubt now. Slam dunk, we're done, right? Mr. Godot, you will summon the Furio Tiger as a witness. I doubt that can be arranged today, so we will adjourn for now. What? Proceedings will continue tomorrow. No, he's outside. Please, not another investigation. 30 minutes. What? The trial will go on. I'll see it to it myself. I need half an hour to get that guy on the stand. Not a minute more. That's very precise. How the don't sit back and relax yet, right? No one knows if that chef is really telling the truth or not. This trial could still go either way. Sure. Very well. Your request is granted, Mr. Godot. We will resume once Mr. Tiger is ready to take the stand. Until then, the court is adjourned for a 30-minute recess. Time for the Godot racing minigame. Apprehending time. I don't know if is Godot evil or not. Like, I don't know. Is Godot like Chadworth in that Chadworth was going down like kind of a dark path for a little bit. I don't know if Chadworth was like becoming a bit evil or not before Phoenix kind of intervened. Like, Von Karma, like Daddy Von Karma, definitely evil. Hot Von Karma. No, that I have to be more specific, don't I? You know, Francesca, maybe a little evil, not really. I don't know. Like, is Godot evil? I'm not sure. Hey, pal, here's some last-minute evidence, Detective Gumshoe. You said you could get some fingerprint analysis done in an hour? You bet. In that case, would you mind checking the prints on this for me? All right, well, we don't... The prints on this, right? Unidentified prints? Going back to the station anyway. Could you find out whose prints are on this? Oh, hey, that's the small bottle I gave back to you this morning, right? Yeah, I think it's time we solved the last mystery of who the prints are on it belong to. Sure thing, pal. Actually, that's been gnawing at me too. I could do this in an hour, even though we couldn't do it overnight while the precinct's in chaos with that big hack that's going on. Small bottle given to Detective Gumshoe. I hope so much that a line of questioning becomes, how the fuck did the old man mistake Tiger for Miss Glenelg, and then you flash the fake fucking cardboard badge and say, well, he fooled all of you into thinking he was me, and be like, that's a good point. Yeah, he could have done that. Court will now reconvene. Mr. Godot, did you find this Furio Tiger? I even tamed him for you. It was a 3-cup job, no problem. Tamed him? The guy's name may be Furio Tiger, but come on. He's pretty lively. Be careful, he still bites. Very well, please show Mr. Tiger to the stand. Witness, please state your name and occupation for the grog. Don't hide it under the table. Under the table! Oh man, unless there's room for me down there too. Nick, there's a dead body under here. It's the real Glenelg. We found him. What you say to me? Nothing. I didn't say nothing. Honest. Who could have guessed that fear would induce a bad Brooklyn accent in the judge? I got business to take care of, you hear me? So who the hell called me into this hole? Was it you, Spiky? No, of course not. It was the judge. Your Honor. Oh my god, there's a dead body down here. Oh dear, I seem to have dropped my pen. Where on earth is it? Don't mind me, just carry on with the proceedings as normal. That's it. We're doomed. Maybe you just didn't hear me. I said, who the hell was it that called me in here? There's no need to shout. We can all hear you. What you say? There's no point in struggling. You're caught in a snare. The relentless snare of the law. Damn, Shadow over here. Holy shit. What the fuck? Let's start with the basics. You know about the incident in question, correct? Incident? I don't know nothing about no stinking incident, mask boy. Oh, everyone else sees the mask too? Okay. You mean you didn't attend the previous trial of Maggie Bird? Maggie who? I've got more important things to do than watch courtroom dramas. Of course. Well, perhaps you could give us your testimony then. He pounds the gavel, but just kind of like reaching up and like hoping that he gets it. couple of fake taps on the bar before he finally gets to it. Please tell us about what you did on the day of the murder. Humph. Phoenix, right. You's the one who set this up, didn't you? You's gonna regret the day you ruffled the tiger's fur. You hear what I'm saying? Gulp. Maybe I should have brought a diaper with me today. Whoa, get a grip, Nick. Tiger's alibi. I know the kind of games that guy in the blue plays. That lowlife ain't no lawyer. He just punches away at stupid details till he wins. Lowlife? Me? Listen up, Smarty. Every time you ask me something that doesn't relate to this case, I'm gonna bill you $50,000, and you's gonna borrow the cash from me. Very well. I have no choice but to impose a penalty system here. Whoa! You's better be listening. I said I got business to take care of. Big business. If I don't split now, I ain't gonna catch my bus. Will you take a bus? Hey, bus driver, you're 10 minutes late. I got fucking kneecaps to break. I'm on a schedule. The court will impose a penalty for any relevant pressing of the witness testimony. Keep that in mind as you begin your cross-examination, Mr. Wright. I don't buy that you haven't even heard of the incident that occurred at Trebian. Heh. You've got a big mouth, right? He's trying to say I was in on some mob hit. Is that what you're trying to say? Where's your proof then? Evidence, yes. Well, for an attorney to make an accusation in court, he must have evidence. That's from loan shark to lawyer, beginner's guide, eh? I see you're the studious type, Mr. Tiger. Very good. Why don't you ask him to represent you sometime, right? Mr. Tiger, you claim you didn't know Mr. Glenn Elg. But it appears that Mr. Elg knew you. What? Mr. Elg left this little note on his calendar. Meet with the Tiger. And the date? December 3rd. There could be anyone named the Tiger. Maybe he's going to the zoo. So, Mr. Tiger, I submit that you did indeed know one Mr. Glenn Elg, because on the very day of the incident, you met with him. Ha 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 ha. Not bad. You's actually not bad. Sorry. I was just messing with yous to see how good you were. Did you hear that, Nick? He said you're not bad. Yeah, thanks, Tiger. That's one compliment I can do without. Plus, he's lying through his teeth. Witness, please remember that you're under oath. Lies will not be tolerated. He's calling me a liar? Is that what you doing? Ruh-roh, Reggie? You never actually met the victim? That's got to be a lie right there. It's time I nailed this guy. Okay, well, the matches, but like a customer, or like a client, not a customer. I see, that all seems perfectly logical. You had arranged to meet with the victim, but he didn't show up. I've heard it's pretty hard to keep appointments when you're dead. Very well. You may begin your cross-examination, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. I don't need to, actually. He was in fucking Trebian yesterday. I saw him. So did Gumshoe. There we go. Done. So did Maya. Done. 3 people. Gumshoe, come back from the fucking, from the fingerprint. Done. And yet, your name was written on the victim's calendar. Get that horse calendar out of my face. I'm the Tiger, not a lame horse, you porcupine. Tigers like me eat horses like that for breakfast. No, no, no. Witnesses aren't permitted to eat evidence. Not that they ever would. Meanwhile, Phoenix is like, yeah, no witness has ever eaten any evidence. Glass eaters. Well, there was a case once where a young lad ate. Anyway, if you had never met the victim before, how do you explain this note? I've never been in a train manager. You here? Okay. Never? Not even once? Not even yesterday? Mr. Tiger, is there something you'd like to tell the court about these matches? Matches? What are you talking about? We found them in your office at Tenderlender. They're from that restaurant. Ooh. If you've really never been to Trebian before, what was the book of the restaurant's matches doing on your desk? You've been snooping around in my stuff now too, wise guy. What are you, my ball and chain? Ain't no broad controlling me. But okay, I was at that joint that day. This is such an easy, like, a client must have brought them. Oh, it's so easy. How do they think of, no, there was a giant mirror that we just so happened to order a couple days and we put it in the middle of the restaurant, and that explains what the old guy said. But they can't think of, well, I guess someone else brought them. Fuck. And I'm this close to proving it was him. He did meet Glenn Elg that day, and he did put poison in his coffee. He must have the poison for Glenn Elg's poison, at Trebian. The guy was laid out over the table, stiff as concrete. I figured if the place wasn't hot already, it was gonna be, so I split. I heard the cop sirens on my way out, and I went straight back to my office. While I was there, I grabbed the fucking, just a box of matches. I see, you didn't actually meet with him in the end then. Well, Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, please. There was a book of matches on the thing. I just grabbed it as I left. Why not? Free matches while I was there. Made the trip worth it. Yes, Your Honor. Anytime Trent presses you on something irrelevant, I'll see he pays a penalty. Mr. Godot, that's my job. Your job is to slam that little hammer of yours and call it a guilty verdict. Godot, can you even see, Tiger? Like, can't you not see red? So do it. Yes, sir. I guess he's more orange. You're something of a loan-collecting pro, aren't you, Mr. Tiger? No one escapes the tiger's clutches, while I'm something of a lie-detecting pro. And no one escapes the phoenix's clutches. I think it's time we got something straight. What's this tray? A new line of irrelevant questioning? These are the floor plans of the crime scene. You say you were standing at the entrance, Mr. Tiger. From there, your field of vision would have covered an area something like this. Indeed, the witness would have had a clear view of the victim's seat. Isn't that what I just said? I saw the back of the kid's head. Okay, so now he's dug his grave by saying that. You could have just said, I just walked in a little bit. Alright. So the answer is the witness is dumb. Alright, unfortunately for you, that is not possible. If the court would think back, you'll remember that between each of the tables is a tall partition. Why, that's true. Now look at the plans again. The truth is painfully obvious. From the entrance, the field of vision of any customer walking in ends here. So from the entrance of Très Bien, you couldn't have seen the victim's seat, but you did see the victim that day because you met with him. Definitely an orange suit. That will do. This trial has gone on long enough without the obvious question being answered. Who exactly was this real killer who impersonated the victim? You say the killer murdered Glen Elg, and then impersonated his victim in a performance for the Victor Kudo. In that case, Mr. Wright, reveal the identity of this criminal to the court. It was him. Obviously, the killer is Furio Tiger. No one could have done it. No one else could have done it. What? Well, witness. No, Gar, haha. Now that's cute. Yous think you can pin this on the tiger? Maybe yous don't understand. The tiger is king of the jungle. Yeah. So I dares you to say it again. Come on, you got the guts? You can't threaten me, Mr. Tiger. I'm a judge. It's the defense. Go ahead and tell the witness, Mr. Wright. Aw, Mr. Wright, Mr. Wright. Sounds to me like it must be you, old man. You's got guts, I'll give you that. Mr. Wright, do not leave me to handle this alone. Ha, perhaps I can end this embarrassment. Mr. Godot! Let's just go back over Mr. Kudo's testimony one more time. Was the victim he saw the real victim or not? That doesn't matter. The fact remains he saw the accused put the poison into the coffee. Yes, it was the waitress who poisoned the coffee. Very impressive, Mr. Godot. Waiting for my absence to launch your attack. Ha. Found your pen at last, right? It was in my pocket. Ahem, but anyway, Mr. Kudo witnessed two people that day. He saw the victim, the supposed Mr. Glen Elg, and the waitress from behind. Yes, your point, Mr. Wright. I think the conclusion is obvious. If this Glen Elg was really the killer in disguise, then surely it's possible the waitress was also part of the show. What? You mean the waitress was an imposter as well? Yes. The defendant, Miss Bird, fell unconscious immediately after the incident. And someone used her fainting to hatch an elaborate plan to pin the murder on her. Who on earth was it? Who was this waitress that Mr. Kudo witnessed? It was Lisa Basil! Who is this woman? She looks pretty fucking sus. There's only one logical explanation that clears up all of these contradictions. The whole incident took place twice, once for real and once for show. And Mr. Furio Tiger, the only person who could have committed the crime, is you. Ooh, witness, what have you got to say? That's cute. So sorry. You's alright. I could do with a guy like you around. What do you mean? Okay, I'm in on this game. I'm gonna have to charter a jet to get me to my meeting now, but I'm gonna give yous one more thing to think about before I go. Something to think about? Yous got it all wrapped up nice, huh, right? But yous missed out on one real important thing. But that can't be. I was in the joint that day, and I met that kid too. But I couldn't have poisoned him, yous hear? What? Do you really expect us to believe you now, Mr. Tiger? Ha. What a troublemaker. Troublemaker? Looks like we're going to need another one for the road. One more steaming cup of hot testimony. Indeed, witness, you will explain yourself to the court. I will give you one more chance to testify. What happened? What happened that day at Trebian between yourself and the victim? Ties to the victim. So how much were you expecting him to pay you back on that day? What do you think? The whole package, 100,000, including interest. That's a real heavyweight punch. Once a client misses a repayment, you call the whole loan in. You want to make it in my world. That's all you've got to know. And how many times had Mr. L been late with his repayments? Once. And how much was he supposed to pay back every month? 50 bucks. Ooh. Well, 50 bucks forever? What? Sounds like Mr. Elg was in a real sticky spot. Yeah, $50 a month. He'd never pay that huge loan off. $50 forever for the rest of your life. So the victim had intended to repay you from his lottery winnings from the beginning. Seems that way to me. But you wouldn't normally expect to win the lottery, would you? Ha. The undying belief that your next roll will end the worst losing streak you ever had, and you'll finally get your Diluc. That's what defines a true gambler. It makes it sound so cool. Don't be tempted, Nick. You haven't got the willpower for it. All I know is the kid took a shot and he got lucky in the end. So you just intended to get back the $100,000 Markiplier owed you, correct? I loaned the guy the cash, so that's my right. Unfortunately for Mr. Elg, I don't believe the $100,000 is what you were really after. What are you getting at, Trey? What else would a moneylender be after other than money? Oh, the moneylender was after money, but money in a totally different league. The kind of money that a single disc like this would fetch. What is that? Some weird kind of circular mirror. A computer virus, Your Honor. A virus called MC Bomber. A computer virus? What does one do with those? A computer virus is a program that wreaks havoc on the insides of a computer. A computer? What does one of those do? I guess the beard isn't the only part of his honor that is from the Stone Age. Whoa, hey, don't hate on the beard. I'll explain it to you later, Your Honor. Right now, this is the important point. A virus like MC Bomber would be worth several $1 million on the black market. Several $1 million? Give me that mirror. Lending money with no hope of ever seeing repayment would normally be bad for business, but in this case, the very fact that Glenn Elg had no way to repay the money is crucial. What? Glenn Elg was a programmer, a highly skilled programmer. That skill was the collateral Mr. Elg put up in order to borrow the money. Objection. You're trying to suggest the witness's motive was to get hold of that program? Exactly. The witness may have poor fashion sense, but he is by no means an idiot. Try it. Okay, I have a feeling there's like an hour left on this trial, everybody. I feel like we're gonna have to go through the song and dance of why did he need it, well, oh, because Viola, and then maybe Viola's gonna take the stand, and it's like, look, and then he came in and did this shit. Oh man. Oh. It seems you have a logical conclusion for this theory, Mr. Wright. Would you care to share it with us? Why did Mr. Tiger need money to the tune of $1 million? In December of last year, you found yourself in need of a huge amount of money. About 6 months ago, you were involved in a traffic accident, weren't you? An accident involving a car and a scooter, in which a young woman was injured, and now you have to take the bus, even though the scooter works. These medical papers document the treatment of the young woman in question. According to these, her operation cost $1 million, and yet when the payment was due last month, you somehow managed to pay it in full. $1 million. A preposterous sum. Someone should sue those HMOs. These HMOs. Ha, no one would pay a bill like that. If the medical association got wind of it, the hospital would end up as dead as a morgue. But Mr. Tiger had no choice but to pay, because his very life depended on it. Grrr! Order, order, order! You say his life depended on it, Mr. Wright. Indeed it did, simply because the injured woman was none other than Viola Cadavereni. Did you say Cadavereni? Bruto Cadavereni, mob boss in charge of all underworld activities in the city, and that's my dad, doting grandfather to his precious Violetta, and also known as Viola Cadavereni. Bruh! Your life was in danger unless you paid compensation to the boss, correct? That makes sense. You were desperate to acquire the $1 million Bruto Cadavereni demanded of you. So desperate, in fact, that you decide to sacrifice Glen Elg's life to pay your debt. On the day of the murder, Mr. Tiger's sole intention was to get his hands on this CD. Glen Elg had no way of paying back the $100,000, and Mr. Tiger knew it. But then a miracle happened. The kind that Mr. Tiger would prefer to say never happened, but he can't, and neither can I. The lottery win? Exactly, at the 11th hour, Mr. Elg won $500,000 on the lottery, which left Mr. Tiger with no way of getting his hands on the all-important CD. At least, no legitimate way. So he whipped out the trusty vial of potassium cyanide that he always carries around in his pocket, just in case, and then poisoned his coffee, so he resorted to illegitimate means. Mr. Tiger posed as Glen Elg, while Viola Cadavereni played the role of Miss Bird. And then they reenacted the whole thing in order to establish a witness. Like I said, Trite, that's crazy. No one could pull off a stunt like that. For starters, there's no way the chef could have been kept in the dark about it. He wasn't. But Mr. Armstrong was on it from the very beginning. Have you forgotten already, Mr. Godot? Mr. Armstrong owed the witness money too, $500,000 in fact. He had no choice but to go along with Mr. Tiger's plan. You's put on a good show, Spiky. But no one would believe I was him. There's no way. Aha, but you fooled the court. If you want to stay alive in the loan shark business, you gotta be careful. You saying I dressed up like that kid, created a witness, and framed someone, and that I just always carry around a bottle of potassium cyanide just in case? Search me right now, see if I have one. Actually, don't search me. It was rhetorical. Don't. Despite your appearance, you are very careful. That's why you took one more precaution. One more trick to make sure Miss Bird had no way out. What? Another one, Mr. Wright? Fill us all in, Trite. What was this trick you say Mr. Tiger performed to frame the accused? Oh, please, I'm a lawyer. Please, I'm a fake. When did we last save it? No. It's gotta be that. I'm going for it. I'm a lawyer. What on earth is that? What an insult to think anyone could be fooled by such a childish imitation. I'm a lawyer. Consider yourself insulted, Your Honor. Mr. Tiger, you didn't just pose as the victim on the day in question. A month ago, in this very court, you posed as me. What? That's the truth. But the witness looks nothing like you, Mr. Wright. Although, now that I think about it, it was you, wasn't it? No doubt it was you, standing in here, this very court, a mere month ago. The Phoenix Wright who put up the most disreputable, shabby defense I'd ever seen. Even worse than usual. Can you prove that, Gramps? Prove the attorney who represented the accused here a month ago was this man? Are you prepared to take the stand and testify that it was him? Gulp. I am. Judge on the stand. They're gonna find out that I'm not wearing pants. Speaking for myself, I am absolutely convinced. The attorney in question was the witness standing before me now. However, I preside over this court as a judge, with the vested power to hand down a verdict. Someone in my position cannot be swayed by a memory without evidence to support it. What? Woo! You! If the defense had no further evidence, the court will now excuse the witness. Okay, I think that this might be the dumbest thing that's ever happened in the series. It's entertaining, it's good. I think this is the dumbest thing that's ever happened in the series in terms of just fucking kangaroo court horse shit. The circumstances surrounding Mr. Tiger are dubious for sure, but not conclusive. All we managed to do here was chase him around a bit, but I was so close to getting him to admit his own guilt. My first court win. Feels good. Looks like I won't be needing a refill. I just had one more piece of evidence, and maybe I could get Maggie off the hook. I mean, like, at this point, it's pretty fair to say that she's not guilty, right? Just because you can't find him guilty doesn't mean that she's guilty. This witness cross-examination is over. You are free to go, Mr. Tiger. Go get your jet. Your Honor, sir. Wait. Detective, what's in there? It's a Snickers! What is it, Detective? Is it obvious, pal? It's the final decisive piece of evidence. Super final decisive. What? Are you the real Gumshoe? January 8, 2048 p.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby Number 1. Sorry it took so long, pal, but I finally got the results from the lab. The results? About the prints, pal, for this medicine bottle. Oh, so, do you know who the prints belong to now? No. Do you think do you think I'm some kind of detective? Of course I know. Clear as crystal, all over the bottle. They're Furio Tiger's paw prints, alright? That's great, we got him now, Nick. What's wrong with you? You've hardly said a word since Detective Gumshoe got here. He's laid everything on the line for this, Nick. I know. Look, I'm sorry. This is kind of hard to say, but it really doesn't make any difference whose prints are on that bottle now. Huh? What? What we need to produce at this stage in the trial is irrefutable evidence that the tiger put poison in Glenn Elk's coffee. He's already admitted that he met the victim. The fact that his prints are on this bottle, that really doesn't make any difference now. That's true. I knew it. Great. No matter how hard I try, I'm never of any use. Poor Gumshoe. Hey, don't be so hard on yourself. You've been working on something for me? Aww. Sorry I let you down, Maggie. I know you didn't do it. And I'm a detective. We're supposed to be able to prove stuff like that. I'm really sorry. I'll get out of your hair now. Detective Gumshoe, wait. He's gone. Isn't there anything we can do now, Nick? I wish there was. Gumshoe worked so hard to get that evidence. If only there was some way I could use it. Small bottle put into pocket, covered in Furio Tiger's fingerprints. How are we going to use that? Because it could have just been on the table and he just absently picked it up, right? So unless we back him into a corner and make him say, I've never seen that before, and then we say, well, your fingerprints are on it, and they'd be like, whoa, what the fuck? I think that's the only way. Just right. Yes, Your Honor. I granted you a recess so you could prepare this decisive evidence you've discovered. Yes. Wait, you're over limit. Or is that a new session, so you're allowed another 17? Think, Phoenix. Don't let Gumshoe's hard work go to waste. How much more of my time are you gonna waste? I ain't been to no court before, but used lawyers sure know how to blow things out of proportion. Yeah, it's only a murder trial or anything. No doubt, given the nature of the evidence, it will speak for itself. Nevertheless, you will talk us through it, Mr. Wright. Well, I know I can't prove anything new with this evidence. I'm really backed into a corner here, but maybe if he thinks he's got me beat. Phoenix, think crazy. He'll let his guard down a bit. Don't keep us waiting any longer, Mr. Wright. Present this final decisive piece of evidence to the court. This is the defense's final piece of evidence. Isn't that the victim's... Your Honor. Naturally, the court is already aware of the contents of this bottle. However, interesting new information has come to light. We have clearly identified some fingerprints on it. Fingerprints belonging to you, Mr. Tiger. What? Doesn't prove anything, right? Oh, you're letting it go, huh? Well, Mr. Wright, what conclusion are you hoping to draw from this new information? Everyone in here knows what this bottle contains, except one man. One person in this courtroom should theoretically be in the dark. What prints are on that pansy-looking bottle? Is that what you're saying? Well, what the hell's in it anyway? A phony trial, a phony lawyer, and phony a phony Gumshoe. A phony courtroom. A phony murder. Phony, deadly. Everything about this case has been phony. Seems like the perfect excuse for some phony evidence. Yeah, let's just, yeah, sure. Let's just break all protocol. Fuck it. Alright. This is where Phoenix goes to the dark side. Fuck it. They can play all their games? Fuck it. Mr. Tiger, this is a decisive piece of evidence that will prove your guilt. Why? Because it contains potassium cyanide. This bottle contains potassium cyanide. Potassium cyanide? The poison used to murder Mr. Elg, Your Honor. The victim's killer used this very bottle. No, I used some other bottle. Ah, caught you in a lie. Oh, fell for it. Take him away. Guilty. And let's bottle, Mr. Tiger. We found your fingerprints. Well, how do you explain that? Ha ha ha. You'd make a good clown. You know that? What? Yous ain't never gonna get this to stick. You's just making me laugh now. You think a cheap bluff like that's gonna fool the tiger? A bluff? I can see straight through you, Phoenix Wright. That ain't the bottle with the cyanide in it. No, no. This is the bottle we found traces of the poison in. Don't mess with the tiger, or you're gonna get ripped to shreds. The cyanide bottle was brown, and it is made of... That cheap piece of trash don't look nothing like it. You mean this bottle? Yeah, that bottle. Let me see it. Okay, give it back. Oh, give what back? Oh, I'm bleeding. Got him at last. He writes like a man after my own heart. You still haven't figured it out? Don't you realize what you just said? What I said? What did I just say? You were summoned to this court for the first time earlier today. If you really had nothing to do with the murder, you shouldn't have known all the little details. For instance, you shouldn't have known what kind of bottle the potassium cyanide was in. Grr. But just now, you slipped up in front of every single person in this courtroom. You described the exact bottle used by the killer to hold the poison. Yous don't know who yous messing with. This is like the time when I was the imposter in Among Us. And someone accused me of venting, and I said, this is my second time being the imposter, I don't know how to do that. I said it ever so slightly more subtle than that. It wasn't that damning. But it was pretty, it was that bad. I didn't get voted, they didn't call me on it. Oh man, you don't know who you're messing with. I'm the tiger, I control millions of dollars on the black market. You think I'm gonna let some jumped up suit get the better of me? Sure, the last piece of evidence is phony. But that's just what you deserve. The phony trial with a phony lawyer. It was all played up by you, the biggest phony of all. Grrr. Oh shit. Full on tiger teeth. What's going on? It looks like a blackout. Oh no. Well done, Trite. He has the power to cause blackouts? I saved my 17th cup of coffee just for you. Savor it while you watch the police restrain your prey. Now then, how are things going with Mr. Tiger, Mr. Godot? He's being arrested on suspicion of the murder of Glenn, Your Honor. Fortunately for us, we managed to rectify a very grave error. Miss Bird was found guilty in the absence of a genuine defense attorney. Yes, she was. And in the absence of genuine evidence. But the tiger made one mistake, eh? Indeed. He very nearly got away with everything if it wasn't for that one slip of the tongue. Well, I am now in a position to deliver my verdict. This court finds the defendant, Maggie Bird, not guilty. Objection! Confetti court! Woo! Woo! Confetti court! Woo! That is all. This court is adjourned. January 8th, 4:10 p.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby Number 1. Mr. Wright, aye. I'm lost for words. Thank you, sir. Congratulations, Maggie. I was so mad when Mr. Wright landed me in all that trouble a month ago, but now I feel like I can forgive him. Hey, that wasn't me, Maggie. That was the tiger. Look, Nick. In the doorway. Detective Gumshoe. Oh, guess I'll be heading off then. See you around, pal. Alright, time to present the weenies. The weenies have to be for something. Wait. Okay, it's gotta be the weenies, right? It's gotta be. Here you are. A present to celebrate your freedom. That's a present from Detective Gumshoe made with a ton of love. He said you lost weight and he was worried about you. Detective Gumshoe? I I actually really like weenies, you know? Did you guys hear that? I'm pretty hungry myself, you know. Yeah, the trial dragged on a bit today, didn't it? Is it okay if I eat this now? So, how is it, Maggie? It's really good. Damn, Gumshoe makes a good weenie. He steams a good weem. Weem? Ween. False allegations surrounding Maggie have all been cleared up. Sorry, I didn't read the first one. And who knows? Maybe a whole new chapter of her life is about to start. Episode 3, Recipe for Turnabout. The end. Aww. Oh, damn! Damn! Slightly younger Chadworth. Oh man, his hair hasn't gone gray yet. Looking pretty good. Actually, there's an eyewitness who was there when the incident took place. This photo was accidentally taken by the... I swear to God! I swear to God! You look as scrumptious as a double. It was finally all over. At least, that's what I thought at the time. Unfortunately, I couldn't have been more wrong. It's been 5 years, but now something has happened that's made me remember all this. I finally shat out the glass.